In the end, it took less than 30 years for the world as we know it to fall. 95% of the population died. There were a litany of causes, not that it mattered in the end. Our infrastructure failed, and with no electricity, our communications, lights, and internet failed too. There weren't even enough survivors left to tend the fields and care for the remaining livestock. As if any of us had any of the necessary skills. Those few of us who remained barricaded ourselves into makeshift fortresses, although we had no idea what we thought we were hiding from. To paraphrase that ass T.S. Eliot, not with a bang, but with a whimper, the world ended. Almost. In the late 2050s, the builders ended the crisis by combining biology, precision mechanics, and thermohydraulics to make constructs from the dead, human and otherwise. These automatons took up all the necessary repetitive tasks that keep us alive. The constructs follow algorithms and programmable, mindless cycles. The dead of all species have taken the place of slaves, and like those slaves, they have become the basis on which our recovery and our economy grow. They are everywhere. As humans, we have lost almost everything. But we do have what humanity has always had. We have hope.
Do this.
Hello. This is Dirty 20 Gaming. My name is Kevin, and these wonderful people have agreed to play with me tonight. We better get going quick before one of them goes to sleep. Phil, tell us who you are. Go fast before you pass out.
I'm passing out
For legal
in the
reasons.
very moment. For
Yes.
legal reasons, my name is Phil, and I am partaking in this game. I play Koas. He is a wonderful character, if I do say so myself.
Yeesh.
And I do other D&D stuff privately.
Yeah. By what you mean off stream, I think.
Off stream.
Yeah. Cool.
In my
Privately has a
bedroom
I know,
alone at night.
I was trying to make it sound slightly less creepy, but you know.
I do it in your guys' closet, so
BD
I'll be there tonight.
By the light of my flashlight.
And that gave me enough time to think of BD and DSM. Yeah.
Ugh.
You're welcome. Let's move on. Thunderscape 7, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Robin, and I do art sometimes. I'm now a full-time cat mom, and currently still trying to get my life put together after moving. But when I'm not doing any number of those things, I'm either here playing Artemis Demasi, or I'm on the Discord, or being the Peanut Gallery for any of the other videos.
I feel like Robin saying she's still unpacking is like me when I say that my website's going to be up eventually.
To be fair, the cat was a surprise.
Yes, yeah. And here's an excuse for you. You cannot finish unpacking until the cat gets used to the environment. I know one thing about cats, they like things to be the same. So you can't move anything until they're comfortable. Then you move it.
No, I just need to have the energy to do it.
Shh, never tell the truth on stream. And I cannot segue from that. I probably should go to me from there, but I'm not gonna. I'll put myself in there as an insulating layer because I'm not going from always lie on stream to Wayward Night.
Let's see. My name is Bison_Stonefist. I GM the Tuesday night game, and
definitely not the Monday night Buffy game.
No, not at all.
No.
I play Sid Brimlock here tonight. He's a real buff, cool engineer who has issues, and likes tea.
An Atash of Masters.
And has, yes.
And that brings us around to me. 4 nights a week currently, because we just finished a show literally 2 nights ago. So Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday. That's the ones we're currently doing. And we'll be adding more. So on those nights, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, tune in and watch. If we're not there, it just means it's RPGs. People couldn't get their scheduling. Moving on. We're using and you're seeing Roll20 as our virtual.
Do we want to like actually introduce Bison?
Oh, you already did. And that was yours too. So that's both of you. You're done. No. Oh, all right then. Playing.
I'm Chris. I'm not Bison.
Thank you. That's what messed me up. You finished it. I was going around this way, and you did Bison, so we're done. Yeah, go fix that.
I played Delilah Stillwater tonight. Saturday nights. Here she also has a lot of issues. I also GM our Monday night game, which is our Buffy the Vampire Slayer TTRPG called Grave New World. It's a riot. Come watch.
It is,
and you can find me at my links.
It's extraordinarily Buffy-ish. Now, Bison _ Stonefist.
Yeah. Well, what she said.
Yeah.
Oh no, other way. Yeah. Okay, never mind. And when we don't have a game here, if I'm not taking a nap before work, I will stream on my own channel. I threw that up in chat. I've been playing Dave the Diver recently. It's a lot of fun. It's really, really artistic. Well, stylistic. There's the word.
Stylistic, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, very stylistic, super chill, and it has a wicked soundtrack. Like, just great. You could listen to it for hours. In fact, I do.
And you will when you watch you play.
Exactly.
So, other than that, now we're to this bit. VTT of choice, Roll20, background art from Pixabay, art miniatures from Hero Forge. Let's go! Shut up, Kevin. Play the game. Okay.
No one was thinking that.
I was. I spent a lot of my time going, Kevin, shut up. Tell the other story. Anyway, let's tell the other story. Sid, you and the boys. We're backing up just slightly. This isn't a retcon. This is as close as you're likely to get of a recap out of me. We're getting the last 10 seconds. You and the lads and the Orchid Mobile, one of a kind, stunningly beautiful, organic creation of springs and wire and genius, stuffed like Santa's fictional sleigh with money in the form of stuffies from the fair, the big city. The lads have told you that a couple things, which I will remind you of. It is currency. The only thing, like, you want to buy snacks, you want to buy stuff, you want to buy anything in that town that the fair is in, you have to use the stuffies. The other thing that they kind of spit out, a couple things, they're thousandaires. So in amongst all this huge bags of stuff that they were carrying, they figured they've got over 1,000 stuffies worth. Snakes, I think, was the basic economy here.
It was snakes, and then frogs, and then dogs,
cats
and then wolves,
dogs, and then wolves,
and then
Snakes.
dragon.
That's
Snakes and ladders.
sizes too. So just rough sizes, right?
Lions and tigers and bears.
Oh my!
Oh my!
I'll edit that to all be together. No, I won't.
No, you won't.
No,
You
I won't.
never added anything.
No, that's not true.
We'll
I
fix
cut
it in
both ends
post.
off of videos. I do. All the waiting shit at the start and all the waiting shit at the end. I cut that off. I'm a really good editor.
TM.
Bison. Yeah. It's the only way I get that title is if I pay for it. So I said, yeah, you and the boy, I was going to say oblivious, but even they've realized now you guys are literally the center of attention. It's dark. You got your little fire going with the Hospitallers, and around you guys at that creepy distance where all you can see is their eyes reflecting in the dark like a bunch of wolves is all the sad losers that have come out of the fair, the ones that got nothing left.
Technically, humans don't have the tapetum lucidum,
I know,
which would
I
cause
know
an
they
eye
do.
reflection.
I know.
Actually, guys.
I know.
Actually,
What that means,
according
though,
to
is
my
that they would have to
calculations.
be quite a bit closer for the similar effect to happen, because it is still a glossy surface. So if they got closer, the fire
and then
would
you look,
bounce off.
then you look behind you, and there's like glowing eyes from one of the wolf
5
plushies, and you're
times
like,
further away. There's an actual wolf pack closing in. Yeah, no,
Just
Yeah.
raccoons.
Just raccoons.
For some reason, dancing. Dun, 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 dun. Never mind.
This is such an unhinged introduction.
Everybody, including us, has been
today.
way too close to this fair for way too long. Sid, bad. Like, count the eyes and divide by 2. The answer is way too many. How do you respond? The boys respond by burrowing. They're going to pretend to be elves and hide in Santa's wagon.
Yeah.
They're gone. It's
if
just Sid standing heroically on top of the
Yeah.
overstuffed Dorkin mobile, mustache flaring. What do you
Yeah.
do?
Well, if I remember correctly, Sid threatened to burn the damn thing to the ground.
That's right.
If
Yes.
So
yeah.
if they got close. So he used his best we're working overtime boys voice, you
Yep.
know, full authority clench.
Yeah.
And he's got his forge hammer and it's got the blowtorch
Yeah.
as is that
Just
a low burn,
yeah.
so it's just flame.
Just the flame curling up around it instead of the blue.
Well, it's just
cutting,
long,
arcing.
yeah, just
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
If you ever do a blowtorch at low temperature, it just produces a
it does
fancy
the-
flame.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yep. So yeah, that's where you are. There's a pause. There's some muttering, and then there's a fireball, a crash of steel and steam and screaming, and way more steam and the shattering of rocks as a behemoth. It's just legs and a body smashing through the flaming ball of light. It crashes to the ground just inside the circle, and you have just enough time to think, is that a human on the... And ba-dum, he rolls off. Your hero and ours. Coes poof, into the 3-point landing in the middle of the circle. The huge dog, mechanical dog, has still got spots burning all over it from where it came through the fire, because it was like oil, right? It was a lantern that you shot, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, there is a flaming metallic steam-powered dog going into sort of settle down mode. So it's going completely unfazed by the fact that it's burning. Coes, you with the fire. Go. What do you do?
As he kind of drops down, he's gonna kind of do like the panicked, not the panicked. It looks panicked a bit, but it's very kind of controlled. Kind of waving of the hand crossbow
Yeah.
around, saying like, "Hey, I'm armed. You know, back up, you fiends." Just
Sid?
kind of like aiming at anyone that gets too close.
Yep. He does that,
Um,
which at no point did he mention looking towards you, right? It's just he just
No.
in cop
No.
mode, right?
I-
Keeping him back, crowd control, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Crowd control.
I think Sid would use this opportunity to bull rush the crowd in an attempt to get them to break.
Okay. Perfect. From Coes, we're just gonna roll here. Gear, right? Because you're kind of using your training to back them off,
Yeah.
or were you thinking
Yeah.
something else?
Oh, gear can
Okay,
work.
so spades. While you figure out how many you want, at the same time, from Sid, you're just gonna and sort of crank up the flame on the, or do some other effect on the forge hammer. What does that look like? Because now you're standing up. Your feet are 6 feet in the air as you stand on top of Santa's chrysanthemum promenade. thing.
He-
They're all the
he
wrong words. I'm just
charged-
gonna keep going till I get to the
He
right one.
charged the crowd.
Yes, but that's what I mean. That's where you started.
Yeah.
How does that look? Get me from there to the Hospitallers are formed
there's a little
sort of
bit.
outward-facing circle around their fire inside, very carefully inside their trailers. So they're having,
Yeah.
you got no help from them. They
Yeah,
have
no,
a
I understand
self-defense
that.
mode. Yeah.
I understand that. I think what happens first is Sid kind of like has to process what he just saw.
Yeah.
So there's almost a falter,
Yeah.
and then he just he sees his opportunity and he just leaps,
Yeah.
just full leap. And once he hits the ground, there isn't even a roll. It's just charge.
He just hits the ground running. Two
Yeah.
hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
What, if
the-
any, effect have you got going on a hammer? I want this to be impressive.
The hammer is still in torch mode.
Yep.
So as he's and because hammered, what happens is the head splits apart and the torch comes out in the middle.
Yep.
So with the torch still going, this hammer looks like it's on fire.
Yes, that's what I was wondering. Yeah. Okay.
And he's just
so-
swinging it around his head,
Yeah.
screaming, screaming in English.
So would you call that gear, you think, or is it more of a social thing like manipulation or firmness? I got my cheat
I
sheet back
think-
this week.
Yeah,
I remember.
I'm just trying to think. I think with what I've got, I think gear would be better.
That's what I was hoping. Yeah.
Yeah.
So spades for everyone. So at that moment, let's have a reveal. Coas, what do you got? How many successes you got
So,
for us?
unfortunately, only one because I don't have any
Okay.
spades in my hand. But
Okay.
since it's part of my gear, my training, I can play 2 cards.
Yes, you
So
can.
I'll play a 6 and a 4 of diamonds.
One success. Excellent. Sid,
2 successes as well, 2 and 3 of spades.
2 successes. Okay, so that's 3 total. Let's
Don't
give
forget
you
to play
as a
2
group.
cards.
I got my cheat sheet back. We might as well use all of it, even the parts we've hardly
Yeah.
ever used before.
Let's go. for that.
But I still can't do it by the book. So between the two of you, you've got 3 successes. The first one counts for the actual success for the thing you wanted to do. You're going to at least, at the minimum success is you've sort of broken the encirclement, to use the military term, right? There's a clear path out if you choose to take it. Now you've got 2 more successes. Your choices are persistence, so you could make that last. Accuracy, which in this point I'm not quite sure of which way do you
Maybe
want it to point.
I
Yeah.
think what it might be also could be like let's say if we go like the route of like dispersing the crowd, targeting a specific individual in the crowd who looks like that would do more impact, as in like maybe a leader
A
or some sort.
leaderish person. Okay, absolutely. Yeah. So that would be extension then, increasing the length of time that it lasts for. Because if you chase that guy away, then everybody's going to go with him, and as long as he doesn't come back, you're good. Okay. So that's 2. So now you got 1 more. You picked a guy, like a leader who's the one who's coming forth, and he's looking. I mean, he's looking like he hasn't got enough
Yeah.
money for his next pee. Never mind his next food, right?
Bison, the next one's on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the first one to get it to work, second one to target a leader. I think the third one, should we make it an escape route?
I'm
Give-
willing to
to give
interpret
us the opening?
accuracy into
Well,
like you heard them off the road in one direction or another.
I will say we
Yep.
would be leaving the Orchid-mobile behind if we left. And who knows what they'll do.
Not if we use that well, if we use that success for that, I don't know, can you call it an assist? Getting
Yes,
Stefano
Yes,
and
I thought-
Verite
I-
to get the vehicle going.
I saw you have the thought, and yes, absolutely. We're gonna call that extension again. Another way to extend this. If you had been looking, and none of you, I mean, you weren't. You were in self-preservation mode, but back in the cart, foop, foop. And then just as you get the hole opened up, which way do you want it pointed? The cart's coming with you is the point. You hear behind you the sound of people stepping on
We
the
got to do it where the cart's going
Yeah.
I think we should try to get it towards the city.
towards the city.
Get
Okay.
into the
Yeah.
city.
So yeah, you can
Because
hear,
then at least we can start spending the shit and not have it carrying around.
you can hear the spring charging up as the 2 of them are inside, hidden under the stuff, just pushing the pedals, probably with their hands. Never mind, probably that's how it is in my head. That's how it is.
So
They're on their floor, just going meep 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 meep
But-
meep meep meep.
if I will, Koa
Yeah.
says like they're beating an crossbow with the gas mask on. He goes, he shoots and it hits like one of the leader guys in like the leg.
Oh, you're actually gonna okay.
Yeah, I'm going
You're
serious
you're
here.
Going
Yeah.
hardcore. All right. Combat. That's diamonds.
Yeah,
Please, Sid. That fucker shot somebody. You thought you know a guy, a cop even.
Yeah.
He just shot some dude.
I gotta show a little bit of force here
yeah,
to
yeah,
make him scatter, make him know what we're up against.
Sid's
Colas ain't playing.
Sid's not playing either. He's he's gonna lay into somebody with that hammer.
Oh,
He's gonna
okay.
find somebody big, and this isn't. I'm not looking to hurt the guy as much as I am to send him flying. I'm looking to send a message.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Sid didn't know that Verite and Stefano were in the vehicle because I didn't know.
They weren't until Kevin made it so about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. Well, that's why we played the scene twice.
yeah.
So yeah,
Uh,
he's gonna send a message to somebody.
all right. So both of you
That
then,
message is
and
out.
we do it. You play diamonds for the combat, and if you're shooting, that's dexterity. So that's clubs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I'm lucky here because my last card in my hand
Yeah.
is clubs.
Okay.
So I get a non-max success here,
And it's a 7.
and I get to
okay.
keep it though because it's dexterity.
It is.
There
Yeah.
you
Okay.
So I don't have to burn.
It's a
I don't have
7,
to
okay.
be in the dark.
All right. I'm gonna use my Joker
Okay.
and a 2. That's 2 successes.
Okay.
I think with the Joker, it's Sid's understanding of how mass moves.
Yep.
And so he comes up to this big guy, the kind of dude that always gets what he wants because he's just that big.
Yep.
And he sort of spins as he's advancing towards this guy and hits him right in the solar plexus. And you see this rod on the other side of the hammer jam in to the hammer itself because that's it's an impact hammer.
Yep. Yeah. Riveter.
And yeah, he just goes flying.
So yeah, absolutely. So that's the success and extra. Yeah, gotcha. So
The extra, you're not getting up, okay? You're just gonna sit there and remember how many ribs you have.
So the gap opens up. Whack! The one guy goes down. It's like a wave. You hit him. It, like you said, just sort of in the arm shoulder region. He's not gonna die. This is like, you don't do that in this world, right? You don't kill people. You specifically said shoot to injure. But goddamn, if you didn't look like you tried, because you hit him sort of here, right, and he stumbles back, and all the people that were using him as a leader, it's like a wave. They break. One big guy steps forward and kind of looking at Sid, only just in time to get pirouette smashed, and it just folds around the hammer and thrown off into the ditch. Behind you, you see Stefano pop up in the Orchid Mobile and start leaning. He just grabs the front and leans forward and just starts leaning and driving, just full throttle. Verite rolls out of it, like parkour style, once it's already moving, takes about 15-20 steps, jumps on the back of the still burning giant dog, mechanical dog. You hear him, ow, 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 ow. Gets up on top, he pulls open the control panel and just starts grabbing wires. And for all the world, it looks like he's just going,
Dog.
But he's in a couple of seconds, he's got it tilt steering. So, and he just leans forward. So going down the road, Coes reloading, Sid pulling his weapon out of the guy's chest, the Orchid Mobile and the flaming dog heading towards the city.
The hot dog.
The hot
I'll try to hop on like the side of the Orchid, you know, like how
Yeah.
they used to do in like
Oh,
the
yeah.
1920s with the gangsters
Yeah.
with like Tommy
and
guns.
It goes,
Yeah.
before he leans back the other way.
Oh,
because
yeah, and he's like,
tilt
"Oh, shit."
steers. Yeah.
I gotta go on this back, and so he has a pivot
right
on the back of it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
Pull
No,
like
he
a
he
Jim
originally gets on the
Hawkins.
side,
So now,
but then he realizes the tilt steering, and he has to get on the back.
and it's all this covered stuff, so it's like you standing up on the back, and you can still only see like this much of him over the bags.
Oh,
Did
I'm looking
Verite
behind. I'm
Oh,
looking
yeah,
behind
okay.
with the
Yeah.
gun, you know.
Know about rumble seats?
Verite?
Yeah. Did he design a rumble seat into the Orchid Mobile?
Who needs to be in it? Who did I miss? Oh,
I'm-
for him.
I'm
oh,
just
sorry,
curi-
for Coas to stand in. No, okay. Never mind. Sorry, I was already.
Just like
You said Verite, my head went to the dog. So, yeah, gotcha. So that is what proceeds. So yeah, you grab on that. Sid, they're catching up to you. You are now in front. You are now the point man on this thing. You're getting
Mhm.
far enough now that you're to the people that knew something was happening down the road and knew it was coming this way, but didn't know what it was. So there's no sort of separation anymore. They're just sort of crowding in to see what happened. But you hear and see and smell multiple vehicles coming up behind you. It can only be yours. I mean, you'd know the Orchid
Yeah.
Mobile sound by now.
Mhm.
The flaming dog you've seen as well. So
um, so he's in front. These
Yep.
two vehicles are coming up behind on him. I think he's going to wait until they actually like round the corner
yeah,
as like a visual reminder, and he's like, "The other way!"
yeah. And yeah, people look at you like, what the? And then they come around. It's like watching a tank come around a corner and then another one. Like, whoa!
Mhm.
And then they clear the path.
Way cleared.
Yes. And the group of you head towards the fair. Meanwhile,
Where nothing terrible is going to happen ever.
no,
Not
because
at all.
it already
No.
is. Meanwhile, inside the fair, at an interstitial space, they're magical spaces, interstitial spaces, because they're not part of the spaces around them. So everything around you, except for this little kind of space between these two tatty, nasty burlap canvases, the unpainted sides, right between the booths. There's no magic here. There's no theater here. There's no happy fair time here. There's just you and a 12-foot patchwork dragon stuffy. Neither you nor the stuffy really fit in this environment, or really, I mean, physically or mentally. But Delilah's, if I remember correctly, utterly detached at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, just outside that space, sort of looking in over glittery horns, over the glittery horns of the giant stuffy dragon, you can see Delilah just slump, almost like she's passed out.
And Artemis was basically giving her space for a minute
Yep.
since she seemed to not be doing so hot, and she had kind of shoved herself into a corner, and basically she's kind of trying to keep crowds away because there
Oh
was
yeah.
a little bit
Oh
of
yeah.
a
There's
following for a
people
while.
swarming everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, you are getting just bombarded with, "Hey, come and play this game. Hey, no, this one's not fixed. That bastard lies in his games. He says you only get 3 balls, but 2 of them are weighted. Fuck him." They spend as much time sort of yelling at the ad. It's kind of negative advertising. It's more, "Don't play those games," rather than "Come and play mine." It is clear to even the most slightly educated person, all the games are rigged.
And kind of like what I said last time, none of this is appealing
Oh
to
yeah,
Artemis in this juncture.
the fireworks are still going. Yeah.
She is continually thinking about the logistics of causing bodily harm to
Yeah.
somebody
Uh-huh.
shooting off the fireworks,
Mhm.
and then knows she shouldn't, but it's a nice thought. But for right now, she knows that Delilah probably needs someone there, whether it's in just physical presence or if it's like actual, emotional support.
Mhm. Delilah.
Mm-hmm.
Just it's like the whole house of cards is coming down.
Mm-hmm.
As they flash past, you sort of see these moments. What's the first one?
First one is a very sort of serene, innocent moment of before any of this happened, where she is standing in her like penthouse, looking over the wall to kind of a sliver of the river.
Uh-huh.
just like standing in a house coat, sipping tea, not really concerned with anything except like maybe thinking about work a little bit. But it's the weekend, and she has no cares because she doesn't know that she should care about stuff.
And then, like that image is printed on glass, and another one goes through it and just and shatters it. What breaks that image, and why is it jarring?
It is a close-up zoom in on her hands opening an envelope, and out falls Verité's little handmade coin. And then kind of a superimposition of the written words from his letter over top of that. And I think it sort of stops on it was like Save the City or something like that.
It is if that's what you remember.
Something like that, yeah.
Remember, this is a flashback. Memories don't have to be exact. So
yeah. Basically in her mind, Verité's intent was like, help me save the city, basically.
Yep, it absolutely was. You're looking at that, it all seems so simple, and it is so simple, and tomorrow's going to be easy, and if it wasn't for this annoying, repetitive fucking banging, this would be a really nice moment. But then a less nice memory pops in. What's that?
Essentially, so I think it's flashes in quick succession. It's her standing on piles of ash watching Florence crumble, and her friends barely alive or whatever, or just who just scraped it like by. And then flash to this horrible mansion, and then flash again to more like tight zooms on these awful notebooks, and one of those like overwhelming montages of like page over page over page over page over page, and like the sections that you can see that aren't fully overlapped by other text are like words like kill and corpse and experiment and things like that. And there's a flash to her destroying the library, and then there's a flash to just
At what point does Delilah
like
start screaming between those two things?
I think what happens is she sat down on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And as these things bombard her, she's curling tighter and tighter into a ball. And as every image of the horror that she has encountered is piling up in her mind, and she can't wipe the previous scene away to deal with the next scene, so they all just come and one on top of another, on top of another, on top of another. She starts to hyperventilate and just like it starts as one of those like silent screams.
Yep.
And then it turns into just like a horrified awful, anguished cry.
Artemis,
And then
how do you respond? Oh, we're not done yet. Okay,
one more thing.
I was going for the
Um,
dramatic interruption. But go.
And then everything just goes white
Yep.
in her mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like her brain has gone total wipe
Just disconnected.
and
Yep.
she's gone.
Format disc. Artemis, you
Yes.
see that. At what point do you jump in? Or do you?
She does. When she starts to notice that her Delilah's breathing is becoming more and more and more erratic, I think
Yep.
she definitely is paying more attention.
Mhm.
She always was kind of paying attention, but she kind of
Of
gets
course,
more
yeah.
alert about it. But she continuously starts to get closer and closer, and eventually ends up like, either reaching over, or, like shoving the dragon over
Yeah.
so she can go in and basically when Delilah is screaming, she is holding her very tightly.
Okay. I like the image of pulling the dragon over the two of you. Like I said, it's 12 feet long, so it's just like
Mhm.
hiding
Mhm.
in this space. Nobody looks in here. Like I said, it's a liminal
Mhm.
space. It's actually technically superliminal, but never mind. But yeah, it's
Philosophy degree.
that was really bad play on words, but never mind. Meh. The dragon in this space where nobody's looking, covering the two of you. Now, if I
Yeah,
am
she's
not mistaken,
hugging her tightly
okay,
and just kind of whispering to her, even though she doesn't know if she's hearing her or not. She's just like, "It's okay. I'm here, Delilah. It's okay. I'm here."
now both of you, if I'm not mistaken, I don't read character sheets, but I do have a memory. Both of you have an ability that allows you to sort of therapy somebody else, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
I have never had to do this in almost 4 decades of running a game. I am going to threaten to take away your character agency if the two of you do not voluntarily apply those skills and talents at this time.
Well, I have to have a deep conversation
You can
to
have
do
a
Yeah,
mine.
I have
conversation
to.
is not a discussion. Conversation can be one person talking, one person listening. You're fine. That's not an excuse. And you have to what? Bring it.
I have to hold somebody for an
She's
extended
holding
period
you.
of time.
Yep.
Yeah, I
There all
believe the
night.
wording is after a long and intimate conversation
Yes.
with a consenting and collaborative character to identify
Look at
their
that.
deepest thoughts and feelings.
There you go. Yep. Yep.
I believe we
You get that all
modified
empathically.
my
Yes.
we modified my
Try me.
ability to be more immediate, but
Yeah. You got time. You guys are in a non-space. Like
yeah,
that's kind of what that means. That my choices of
in
words.
in Delilah's head, the banging of the fireworks is nigh on non-existent
Yep.
anymore.
Doesn't matter anymore. Yep.
It's like she had a ring in her ears that got louder and louder and louder until suddenly there was no sound.
Yes.
And she cannot physically open her eyes.
Nope.
They will not open.
Yep.
As her face is contorted in this
Mhm.
in this silent scream of agony. And I think it's a long, long, long moment of like maybe Artemis starts to character bleed. What's that? Artemis starts to like worry, like Delilah should probably breathe. Um, and then finally Delilah takes this huge gasping breath and then just like painful, awful sobs.
Yep.
Not necessarily into Artemis or away from Artemis, just kind of like
They're just coming. Yeah.
they're just, yeah.
Yeah. It's gone primal. Okay. I
Mhm.
love that. Now, mechanically, remove a trauma from your character sheet. Artemis, tell us your tale of this experience under the patchwork under the patchwork dragon. Best kids book name ever. Okay, go. Tell us what happens
Um,
from Artemis's point
and
of
kind
view.
of in like a antithesis to her like not hearing anything
Yes.
anymore.
Yeah.
It's kind of Artemis is basically forcing herself to kind of do this for Delilah because she doesn't know what else to do because she's thinking it hurts.
Yep.
Everything hurts. She can't even hear herself actually talking because it is so loud.
Yep.
But she's forcing it and she's just holding Delilah tightly. And talking about nothing and everything, trying to keep a grounding aspect to it, even if she can't hear her or not. It makes Artemis feel like something's happening.
Artemis, as you do that, as you focus, and maybe it's the dragon, maybe it's the focus, maybe it's your exhaustion, who knows what it is. But you can't hear the fireworks anymore. You can't hear the hucksters and the pitchmen. It's just for the first time in it's quiet. There's no pressure. There's nothing to do except be here with friend, which you are doing. And you realize that all that focus on Delilah is what's keeping you here. But it's benefiting you too.
Mm-hmm.
So you also please remove a trauma. You guys are looking at me like I wrote it in pen. You can't make me.
No, I did it. No, it makes sense.
So in the
It's
middle of the world, I just
shared pain is lessened.
Oh yeah, we're getting there. But I just love this image of this mad fair, this insane carnival where everybody's walking around going, "You happy? I'm happy. Are you happy? I'm happy. We're happy." And then between these two tent sides, underneath this giant stuffy, are two people actually reacting to the real reality and actually responding to what's really going on and actually dealing. So we're going to cut away from that for a second. Back to the entrance. Currently, the order is the Orchid Mobile being driven by Stefano, who's now kind of sitting on the bag at the front and starting to like the feel. Like he's like, yeah. And Koa's riding shotgun on the back. Shot pistol, whatever. Anyway.
Shot crossbow?
Yeah, shot crossbow on the back. But it wouldn't be you're just riding crossbow. Yeah, he's just riding crossbow on the back.
I'm riding repeating hand crossbow.
Repeating hand crossbow on the back. That's
rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
RHC.
Yeah. I got like one hand on the back of the Orchid Mobile on one of the horses and the loaded weapon in your other hand. And right behind that, the dog with Verite. Sid, did you mount up at any point? Where are you in that procession now?
I think Sid's probably at. I'm going to use the term force march.
Oh, yeah.
He's not. He hasn't written another attack out of the equation yet.
Yeah.
So he's kind of staying afoot.
So front, you're staying out in front though.
Depends on where he thinks the threat is. Depends on where he thinks the threat is.
There isn't one. As you get closer to the city, this is a good time to explain this, I guess. As you get closer, the way that you're being looked at changes. Because these people, again, didn't know that there was a fight. They don't know what's under the tarps. They don't know nothing except this amazing entourage is passing them by. So there's mutterings of king, baron, prince as you go by. And as you get towards the city, this is why I wanted to know who was first. So that there's the vibe, Sid. What do you do then? There's nobody on the road between you and the gates. And the guards at the gates are already looking at you, but they're not. It's not like hands on weapons looking. It's like what's the fuss?
Yeah. I think he'd probably be walking probably in between the two vehicles.
Okay.
Just because he can't,
Gotcha. Yeah.
slowly said.
So Stefano sees it first, and then split seconds later, Coas sees it. Coas, you're riding on the back of the Arcade Mobile, and all of a sudden you see Stefano start to laugh. Like he almost crashes because he leans forward to laugh and accelerates the whole thing. He's like, whoa, he leans back. And he says,
I
yeah.
peek over like what I can, and I look and I see why he's laughing.
Did you bring your crown? As he falls back in his seat, and you look ahead of you, and the guards at the gate are literally rolling out a red carpet.
So, Cody's gonna like, oh, then kind of knock on the car. Pay attention when you're driving, though.
Stefano leans back to you and says, "Can you hear what they're saying?" You finally start to listen.
Can I hear what they're saying?
The crowds on the side of both sides of the track. You can hear high rollers, high rollers, high rollers, high rollers.
I'm gonna just kind of put the crossbow away. You're gonna see there's no threats, and I'm just gonna be like doing like the wave, like the.
Oh. Hello. My son's a complete prick. Enjoy me while you can. Hello.
Sorry, I only raised bell ends.
Yeah. I really thought I'd be the last one, Anyway, Coas. And yeah, what do you? How do you respond to that?
Keep driving, Stefano. I'd rather us see us as royalty than threats.
So since where you are, you see from two ahead of you from Coas hanging off the back of the Arcade Mobile.
When you were riding the wolf, did you hit your head or something?
Well, I don't know. I don't want to give him a reason to not like us.
He sort of steps out so we can actually see.
Yeah. They're putting up
Coas.
pennons and flags and.
Well, you are the fanciest lad out of all of us, so Your Highness.
And he's taken aback by that.
With the full flourish and everything.
Oh yes.
He's trying to think: is he actually the fanciest out of all of them? And
Sid's wearing a tank top.
I think Delilah
and a
would
flat cap.
Delilah would be the fanciest.
She's not there.
But she's not
Yeah,
there.
she's not there. It's the four boys.
That's true. It's the four guys.
Yeah.
Then I guess I would be.
It's not Stefano or Verite. They're just the drivers, right?
He's gonna like mess up his hair, kind of not mess up, but like mess it up in a good way,
Try and get stylish. Yeah.
Oh, this is
Make it look ruggedly dashing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And with that, you approach. As you get even closer, first of all, Sid, behind you, you hear Verite. Do you want to get on? The fires are out now. Don't sit there or there. It's still pretty warm.
Yeah, Sid slows down, waits till the wolf kind of passes him, and he gets on and sits behind him.
Could I draw cards? Or can I draw cards to my hand? Or
yes, you
has
guys have
not-
had 5. This trip has given you 5 minutes to rest. Yeah.
Thank you.
absolutely.
Just in
Because you're
case.
riding, yeah. So, with that, as you get close, you see
6.
somewhere between a mayor, the announcer in the center ring of a 3-ring circus, and a compere at a shitty British nightclub circa 1969. Just
Okay.
Ringmaster.
yeah. Yes, all standing, or this figure standing, just covered in ribbons and um medals
Medals.
and sashes, like multiple sashes, and just a huge hat that looks like it's made out of 2 or 3 other hats. It's just, it is grandiose, gone ridiculous. And they kind of have to. There's so much to the uniform. They have to come out like this, and they're standing at the end of the red carpet as you guys approach. Stefano leans back to Coas and says, "How close should I get?" He is loving this shit. Stefano is having way too much fun.
Stefano, you're just supposed to be the driver.
Yep. How close should I get,
Um,
Your Highness?
right up to his legs, and then stop. You better stop good.
Watch this. I did this once with a wolf, and he leans back forward and right at
Uh-oh.
the end, and comes to his stop. I'm not going to make him make the play. He
All
does
right.
it. He learned from
All
his mistake. He stops it just recently. In fact, the whole thing is it kind of bows as he stops it so hard, and then when it comes back down, gives you this perfect time if you wish to step off.
I just want to mention something.
Yeah.
I've had this whole time.
Yep.
That I haven't realized because of my Jack and Queen.
Yep.
I've had +1 to perception with sight,
Yes.
and I've also had I can heal in Steam. I could remove Steam trauma this whole time.
Well, there you go. Mhm.
Well, I
Some
did
long
not know
repressed
that.
memories pop into Coas's mind, allowing him to do things he didn't know he could do before. Let's move on. Okay.
Anyways, so yeah, you stop at the. I just saw that on my character sheet. I was
Yeah.
like, oh wow, that's why I have a king.
Yeah.
I thought I just gave myself a king for just for roleplay reasons.
because
was
it's
me.
this party, and they're all
Yeah.
going, "I want more agony."
So yeah, he stops at the thing.
And he's at the last second, clearly an assistant, runs out and hands the dude this huge. It looks like the old flags, the military flags,
Yeah.
with the unit on it, except it's lower and closer, and he holds it kind of weirdly out to the front of himself and off to one side with both hands because it's so heavy, and you realize it's because it's got the words written on the back of the flag that he's supposed to read, and he proceeds to, "As a great and honored guest of the fair," and he gestures like worst Vanna White ever. It is our pleasure to welcome you. We offer you comp suites in the nicest hotel in town. He forgets, he then points at just another building. It doesn't look anything fancy at all. Yeah.
It's like a donut shop.
Yeah.
I like to believe that whenever he points, because the flag is so heavy, he goes.
Yeah, and then grabs it again. Yeah, yeah, beautiful. I was wondering why he was having such trouble. You realized it. Yes, thank you. And it looks like, from the length of the flag, this could go on for quite some time.
So Koas is gonna go ahead and kind of step off. He's gonna throw back his the back of his trench coat so it kind of flares up a bit.
Yep.
He's gonna walk up. Thank you. That is all.
Hey,
Puts up hand.
and he just,
No more yabbering from you, please.
He just ever so slowly hands the standard, to nothing. There's nobody here, and he's just kind of holding it, and then the helper runs out and grabs it, takes her, and he just bows deeply from the waist and goes over because he's got too much stuff on, and just like a big gold and red inverted V on in the courtyard now, and you just hear from underneath, "Help me up! Help me up! Help me up! Help me up! This is not very dignified. Help me up!"
Show my driver to a suitable location for the car.
Stefano, you can see him just grinning. He's resisting. He goes, "Meep meep," just as he drives away, and follows one of them who's doing the butler thing to a car because
Yeah.
it doesn't have
The
any
hotel
other.
point.
This way, please. This way, please. This way, please. All the way
Hotel
down the
point.
street back towards this hotel/donut shop because he said it was.
And then
Italian
the
donuts,
almost
what the
destroyed
hell are those gonna taste
the
like?
almost destroyed wolf comes up next.
Yeah.
And he's gonna
Show my other driver to the other location for this other car.
Not technically a driver. It's got feet, not wheels.
He's a smarter driver than the previous one.
And
Sid wordlessly hops off the wolf and helps Mayor McCheese back up.
So the wolf then stomps off after the orchid mobile, heading off into the distance to find a place to park at the Hotel Donut, leaving the two of you.
Yeah.
And yeah, you and several helpers. It's like helping up a knight in armor who's not very good at this, right? Yeah, but you get him stood back up, and you can see he's literally biting his lips because he wants to say thank you, and he wants to say lots of things, but the king told him to shut up, so he can't say anything. And he's like gesturing to all the things. He's still, you can tell in his head, he's
You may
still doing the
speak.
speech.
You may speak 5 words only. Pick them wisely.
Sid's trying really hard not to laugh.
So is Goes.
He's doing the whole speech, and he utters the next 5 words, and he says, "We're the soup of the day."
Or the soup of the.
We're the soup of the. Yeah, that's all he gets out. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Sid's like doesn't say anything, just sort of like stares at him for a little bit, kind of like wipes some of the dirt off of his sashes.
Yeah.
Nods and walks in.
And he's waving to his assistants, and they start coming over. There's fruit baskets, presents, flowers. You're high rollers. You're getting like keeps pointing to the top of the hotel. Like you're getting the penthouse suite. It's all comp. They won't take stuffies for anything. Which is a weird sentence to say, but never mind. But yeah, the weirder part is that the 4 of you just took it as a perfectly normal sentence, but because of this world it is. But yeah, they won't take payment for anything. This is the management comping you a ton of stuff, hoping that you'll spend all your money at the fair / Vegas.
Yeah, the Vegas.
So it's you're close now, the 2 of you, so you can see the gold ain't gold, and the red has been patched and spray painted and colored in, and it's probably rabbit skin. It's all glitz and glamour. The more you look around, this whole place, they've actually got gold paint. They just keep painting it over, and they've done it so many times it now looks like gilt. GILT, not GUILT. No one here has that anymore. This is a Vegas equivalent. There's nobody here feeling guilt.
Guilt would require shame.
That's right. Yeah.
I think Sid would like inspect pipes and things. He doesn't trust. He obviously sees the paint like
Oh.
But if he sees like a pipe, he'd like tap it.
Oh.
What kind of
Sid,
metal is it?
Sid, like wrapped in burlap, and then steam tightened leather instead of being replaced. Different size valves, different size pipes in the wrong order. It's like the worst carnival you've ever been to. Not mentioning the carnival that tours through the area that both of us live in. Sort of the nuts and bolts falling out level of carnival.
Yeah, I used to work at that hotel. Yeah.
Anybody else notice I laughed at it? But never mind.
Yeah. Sid, like he taps on it, he looks, and if he was a cartoon, he would slowly be steaming.
Yeah.
And then just like apprentices.
No, it's the pipes that are steaming.
Yeah, no. Sid would be matching the pipes.
Hey,
he's just
bro.
like apprentices. It is really interesting. Just it's kind of traumatizing. So
Yeah. Especially what we've done with it.
yeah, right.
Somehow we did away with the creepiest part of the original mechanics, and we've made it sadder and creepier. I'm not quite sure how we did that, but yeah.
So Goes is just going to leave us. We're heading to our rooms.
And he's just bow. He knows this part. Just bow and gesture and bow and gesture.
Then I'm gonna walk to the like the donut shop,
Yep.
and then as soon as I'm out of sight line from everyone, Ghost is gonna go. Jesus, what the fuck was that?
It's a cruller, sir. You hear from behind the counter.
Gotta take it.
Yeah.
What did you say it was?
It's a cruller.
It's a cruller.
K-R-U-E-L-L-E-R. It's like a heavy donut. You know the ones that are they kind of look like they're twisted.
Gotta look at. Oh! I do know that one actually.
Yes.
Yes.
They're very tasty.
I find them very heavy, but never mind. We had this
They are very
conversation
heavy.
online. I like yeast donuts.
I'm gonna smell it.
Yeah. Oh,
It smells.
this is
good.
fair food, so it's like it's been boiled in deep fried fatty goodness.
It would smell like
Oh.
butter.
and it's
lots
got
of
too much
butter and sugar.
too much
Ah.
sugar, and just too much. It's food.
I love sugar as much as the next guy. But, oh,
Mhm.
that sounds like.
This
ugh,
is
too much.
borderline sickening. Even if you do like sugar, that's fair. Like, yeah, look at
That's
It's very cakey.
Fair.
the place
Yeah.
that's selling. Yeah, the place that's selling the pretzels. You can see huge chunks of salt on the pretzels. Like everything is overdone here, right? Everything is cranked up to
Jesus.
12.
Huge chunks.
Huge chunks.
Are the
Fast.
fireworks still going off?
Oh yes, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I was
yeah.
just double checking.
24/7.
Mhm.
The two of you are luckily at the moment immune. These two, I don't know how you process that.
Steamworks.
Yeah, that's
I'm
fair.
used to loud
That
noises.
is absolutely fair. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
think if I tell him to turn off the fireworks, it would work?
Until the next, maybe for a few minutes. They seem to really like it.
It's grating.
Sid kind of shrugs.
One of his minions is still there. He's gone because you told him to piss off. But one of the minions is like, you realize there's going to be one there, sort of waiting for you to beckon at any moment, wherever you are in this fair.
Sid looks to the guy. He's like, nearest pub.
For reasons no one can comprehend, he's dressed as, I think it's, which one is it? I'm not going to say the name because I don't want to get it wrong. He's dressed as I'll just change it slightly, a local god with 8 arms. And they goes, and all 8 arms move in different directions and point to pretty much every point on the compass. Here I go, I'm going to fix this right now. And on his chest, a sign, as he does that, his jacket pulls open, a sign that says, drinks and just arrows.
Right.
And you look around, and yeah, every place you can get food. Most of the games, like, they want you drunk. So here, have a free drink just before you pay us, you know, 3 snakes to throw ball on weighted balls at targets that are glued to the table. You know.
I think Sid would walk out into the street, grab a couple of frogs out of the car kid.
Yeah.
Spin on his heel, throw a rock, and head to that bar.
Okay. Yeah. It lands in front of a bar called Feldspar Helmets. And you
Seems like a respectable joint.
As you get closer, you can see
Respectable is relative.
the name is painted over another one, is painted over another one, is painted over another one, is painted over another one. Looks like they last about 3 months.
Typical season.
Rotation,
Sounds about right.
Yeah, as you head in, you can see this one must be approaching the end of its season because most of the chairs are sort of held together with splints. They've been broken multiple times. The tables are they've taken 2 tables and put them together. This place is rat ass. This is like a biker
One
bar
table
had a
has-
fight with a sailor bar. You know.
One table
It's
has like
perfect.
different blocks,
Yep.
blocks, and they're all different sizes,
Yep. Oh yeah.
just to make it even, and it's still not.
Yep. There's a chessboard with 2 pieces and a knife stuck in it. Yeah. It's one of those.
Sid breathes in deep, taking in the stale beer
Oh yeah.
and the loss of hope.
Oh,
It comes from being
Sid. In the corner with that big that big sniff of nostalgia. I had the flashback of Sid when the boys took you out.
That's what I was thinking too.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'll shut up then.
Yeah.
Go.
He kind of he breathes it in, and when he opens his eyes, he's at that bar again,
The ghost.
like in his mind.
They're all dead, Sid.
Oh,
You blink,
Yeah.
you're back here, or are you still
Yeah.
there?
Actually, yeah, no, it's just I think Tomas would look to him and say, "We're all dead, Sid."
Perfect.
And then he blinks
Uh-huh.
and he's back at the bar.
Yeah.
Koeth, kind of letting Sid go off. He's actually gonna ask, uh, where do you keep all your scrap metal?
To the minion.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you need, sir? Zinc,
Scrap metal,
magnesium.
all of it. Well, show me where it is.
You'd probably be best to talk to one of the blacksmiths, sir.
Take me to him.
At this time of the night, sir.
Yes.
Very good, sir.
And on the way, I'm gonna try to flag down Verite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. As you walk past the hotel, you see Stefano and Verite, the Orchid Mobile and the wolf, because of this is what you do, are tied to a post in front of the hotel, like horses.
Yeah.
And somehow, in the time it took you to get here, Verite and Stefano are now standing next to them, dressed in the livery of the hotel. One by each vehicle, looking self-important.
Verite, I can see Verite occasionally looking to Stefano to make sure he's got the posture right.
Yeah. And which one do you want to come to you?
I'll actually take both of them.
Okay. They kind of look around and trot over to you.
I'm gonna kind of whisper them. So, it's a little bit of a treat for going on with that little like charade thing. I'm taking us to a scrapyard, to a blacksmith. Hopefully you guys can find some good material there to work with, and maybe have some fun with that. How's that sound?
Verite is already just like gone. He's imagining stuff. Stefano looks at him and says, "You have to take off your uniform first. We can't get these dirty." And he starts taking off the livery, and he's very carefully folding it up and putting it on the seat of the mobile. You notice the mobile is empty, the Orchid Mobile. There's no stuff in it.
What's Verite's like hair look like?
It was okay when he was wearing the hat. But now he's taking everything
Is it
off.
like buzz? Is it like a long and scruffy?
Oh man, yeah. Parted in the middle, kind of goes like that down to about here, sort of page boy cut by now, because he hasn't had it cut in ages.
So, kind of absent, like not realizing that he's doing this. He's gonna embrace the kind of dad / older sibling role and just kind of nuzzle both their heads and kind of mess up both of their hairs. Come on, guys, let's get you something fun.
Legos.
Oh,
The toy store.
That's
Okay,
it.
Perfect. That's where you're headed. Sid, what are you doing? We're gonna cut back to the pretty soon the other two, but what are you doing?
He's grabbing a bottle of whiskey. He's buying a bottle of whiskey, and he's going to have a very long.
Everything is comped. Every time you try
Yeah.
and pay for something, it's comped. Although they are starting to get rather strident at you. They wouldn't dare talk to the king like this, but they're getting rather strident that you should go and start riding rides and playing games and things. You high roller, you.
He just looks at him, and he's like, "Look, you can take the fucking frog or not. I'm having a drink. It's been a long week."
Yep. And they refuse to take the frog.
He's just gonna leave it on the. He's just gonna leave it on the bar then.
Yeah.
Giant tip.
Yeah.
Won't fit in the tip jar.
Within
It's just-
seconds, yeah. Within seconds of you leaving,
Just
it's
like
gone.
put
It's hard to tell who
an
took it,
arm.
but it's gone.
Yeah,
one of the frog's arms.
it's just the
Yeah.
he refused to take the frog. What a sentence. Yeah, yeah, and yeah, Sid's gonna have a long conversation with the bottle of whiskey.
Okay. So you're just gonna sit there and get hammered. Sid.
Me and the ghosts.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Sid, what order do the ghosts show up in? And how does that go? Drunk Sid and the ghosts.
Let's see. I actually have their names. I think it would be kind of the rank and file. It would be Carlo, Francesca, Gerhardt. They'd be just kind of, they'd come in. To him, what Sid sees is them handing him a shot.
Yep.
And then walking past.
Mm-hmm.
And what everybody else sees is Sid just
Yep.
pouring himself another 2 fingers. When Ted Lombard comes by, Sid has a conversation with him in English, so none of the Italians can understand him.
Fair. Yep.
And that's just more bullshitting and laughing. Tomas is last. And Tomas sits down with them. And it's Sid looks at him and he's like, I tried. When it happened, I was almost there. I tried to get you out.
What does Tomas drink?
I think Tomas is a gin person.
So that weird,
It's very, very odd.
that weird oily looking liquid in the bottom of the glass as he looks back up at you and says,
We were already gone. You have to let go.
clank on the table.
And Sid's like, well then, to the fallen!
In the middle of the fair, the only
Yeah.
serious drunk man for 2 miles in any
Yeah.
direction screeches
Hey,
out. like
there's
a
one in
war
every
veteran.
bar.
Yep.
There's one in every bar.
To the fallen! And they just bring you another bottle. Meanwhile, between the tents. Why do I feel like I've heard that sentence before? Anyway, meanwhile, between the tents, the two of you are, I mean, I know time-wise hours haven't passed, but I want to get back to you. When that unwilling self-help group breaks up, it's like, no, you, no, you, no, you, no, you. And at the end of it, you accidentally healed each other. The two of you, who breaks that? Who breaks, like, Delilah's still gone. So probably Artemis would be the one to first react.
Yeah.
What goes on after hours?
She, once it kind of realizing just how long they had kind of been in probably a static position.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And kind of like making sure Delilah's like stable since she now seems to not be reacting to things still. Are we still not affected by the sounds of the outside, or are they coming back?
You can hear it now, but your king is gone. I'm going to insist that after 2.5 sessions, you put it in a discard pile.
It is. It's been there.
Okay, yes. So I meant gameplay wise. You can stop having that headache now. But yeah, you can. So yeah, you're at the point where you can hear all of it, but you're finally not used to it. But at least it's not devastating.
Yeah, and it'll probably cycle through again at different varying degrees.
Yeah.
But she's not murderous.
Yes.
But yeah, she kind of hears the fireworks come back, and it's like, oh, that's right, we're here. and kind of
This
like trying to
face.
just get the bearings
Yeah.
of like it felt different a minute ago, and just
Mhm.
trying to kind of wrap her head around that.
Yeah.
Has no idea her brother has now become a king.
Yeah. Delilah,
Mm-hmm.
you're gone. Like it's just white space.
Mm-hmm.
But there's this annoying little thought. You're supposed to be you're supposed to be better. You're supposed to be more than somebody. You're supposed to be fixing somebody's mess. And you kind of, a little space of light like this big opens up as Artemis moves, like realizing they've been in the same position for hours, and just kind of goes, oh, stretches up a little bit. A little bit opens up, and you can see out into the fair. And she walks past. The woman who used to be your hero. I forgot her bloody name. I wrote her.
Elizabeth
Elizabeth
Gory.
Elizabeth
Gory.
Gory. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. In your head, she walks by dressed as a harlequin, black and red, with the three-cornered jester hat, the quartered outfit, the diamonds.
Harley
Yeah.
Quinn, basically.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, a true harlequin. A joker, if you will.
Delilah, like, the word that comes to mind is triggered,
Oh, yeah.
but in a very in kind of the opposite way as to how she just sort of snapped. She actually like bolts upright and stands up and like
Yep.
shoves the dragon out of the way and
Mhm.
runs out into the fair to
Yeah.
try and find her.
Yep.
Artemis will try to stop Delilah.
Okay. So Artemis, yeah, I saw Sid, you threw the dragon away. In my head, you just stood straight up and pushed, and it kind of got caught at the top of the tent between the frames. So it's now sort of like a roof is the belly of
It's
the
like
dragon.
a portico.
Yeah,
Well,
basically. Yeah.
in my head, it's like when when somebody throws a blanket on you and you're trying to get it off you,
Yes,
and
yeah.
you're just flailing.
And in this case, you just went and just pushed it straight up. So Artemis, you just did that thing where you started to move and your back is locked. Like it's just like and that's the moment, of course, that Delilah goes and disappears, bolting after you. You turn and look, and it's a clown dressed in red and black, not the full jester. I mean, the only thing that's similar is clown-ish and red and black. They're juggling and walking away from you, and Delilah's going towards them like a crossbow bolt.
How much of a crowd is around? Like
Full. This place
full.
is rigged. And I,
So like
I know
she'll
you said-
lose.
actually, I know you said you tried to grab her on the way out, so let's do that,
Yeah.
right? Because yeah,
No, it's okay if it's okay if she slipped through.
Well,
for
let's
story
do the thing.
reasons.
Let's do it. Let's both do. I guess that would be an athletics. So diamonds.
Diamonds. I've got one. It's
One
nice.
success. Okay.
I also have one success.
So you grab her, but she pulls you out too. So not as far as they wanted to. She's like you got her by the sort of elbow, and she's pulling to get away from you, and you can see she's getting at that. But you do have, at least for this round, you have some at least anchor ability to use against Delilah.
Yeah.
Delilah is. Oh, go ahead.
No, it's okay. As she's being pulled, she's like, Delilah, what is it?
Delilah is just like screaming, like, "Let me go! Let me go! She's over there! She
Who?
can't be allowed!
Who?
She has to be stopped!"
Who are you talking about, Delilah? And she's trying to get Delilah to like stop moving.
Yeah.
And Delilah's just like pulling hard, trying to get away. And Delilah's like, "I have to stop her! I have to be better than her!" And she's like struggling to
Delilah,
get loose.
Delilah, that's a worker at this fair.
No, it's her.
Delilah,
I saw her face.
you turn back to confirm Delilah, and it's just a clown.
It's a dude with a beard.
She's like,
And they've
I
turned
saw
around
her
at the
face.
ruckus, and they're juggling at you.
her fists are clenched, and she's like breathing heavily, and she's just like, where's Cois?
He left before we came to the fair. Remember?
Right. Right. You can let go now.
And she will.
Both of you make perception checks for me, please. Perception plays. So it's clubs.
Yes, clubs. The one thing I don't have in my hand.
Right. I've got my Joker though.
Okay. This might be a very good time to play it because as you turn around, you see a ne'er-do-well pulling on the tail of the patchwork dragon, trying to get it unstuck. He's trying to steal
I
your
have
dragon.
an 8.
Ooh, so that's 2 successes because it's.
No, that's 1 success because they're not clubs.
Oh, they're not clubs. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so that's yeah.
So
yeah, the two of you turn around and there's this.
Delilah is. Oh my god, Delilah. She's in like protection mode because she doesn't like have.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
She's just like, get away from that.
Oh yeah. You're one emotion at a time, and let's do this 120%, right? It's just like my dragon.
I'd
Take
step
your
away.
hands
She is a
off
doctor.
my dragon.
Do you?
Where are my dragons?
Do you
Where are my
strike him?
dragons?
Do you intend to strike them as you approach, as you move closer?
I think I whip out my scalpel.
Okay.
That's where you
yeah.
did have it at the ready.
Yep. Oh yeah, you did. Artemis,
Mm-hmm.
you're at the fair. It's a weird fair. I mean, yeah, you know, yeah, all the weird.
Yep.
But your friend just pulled out a scalpel and threatened somebody with it.
Or a stuffed toy.
Does this look like a kid, an adult? Like
this
what?
is an adult. This is I
Adult?
refer to
Okay.
them as a ne'er-do-well. This is
Okay,
this
okay.
is one of those people that pickpockets sort of hang around the fair to profit from people.
She will look at the dude and say, "I would back away if I were you."
But somebody left it. That's worth so many. Oh shit!
It's hers.
Ah,
Back away.
Hey, 2 and 2, 4. Right, gotta go. Have a nice day. You got a spare
I was
snake?
just
Got a
glaring
spare
at him.
snake? I haven't eaten since yesterday. You got a snake?
Delilah
Maybe a frog?
Delilah will take the $20 plushie that she still had left over,
The wolf.
and
yeah.
she will.
I think that's what.
Yeah,
She's-
I think that's what
yeah.
you said.
She goes to like chuck it at him, and then she has this idea,
Yeah.
and then she punts it over his head into the crowd and goes, "Go get it."
And he looks at you and opens his mouth like he's about to call you a absolutely nasty name.
Artemis reaches for her gun.
He sees the gun, the blade,
Still
your
got the knife.
eyes. That's the one. Like he sees the 2 weapons and it's like registers, but then he looks up at Delilah and sees insanity level 12 written in the eyes, and just, all right then, I know. And he just backs away until he's out of striking distance or until you drop the aim on your pistol. And then you see him head over and start to pick pockets out of the people that are fighting over the wolf stuffy. Oh, her eyes say, "If you're lucky, I will cut you." Yeah. I am 2 steps away from taking you apart with my teeth.
Yeah, she's real tense and she's
Yeah.
like breathing heavy and she's
Yeah.
just like it's like holding her scalpel like
Yeah.
Artemis will reach out and grab her wrist slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you should sit down.
There's
I did sit
wrenches. There's
down.
a few. Yeah.
I don't feel like sitting down anymore.
Yeah.
She does resheath her scalpel,
Yep.
but she goes, "Where is Cois?"
Speaking of which, that's a good question. Coas, where did you go? You went
I
to
went
the
to-
hotel, right?
Well, I was gonna be at
Blacksmith.
the hotel. I
Yeah.
went to go to the blacksmith because I wanted to go to a scrap heap.
Right.
I
Okay.
can
Oh,
give-
to the
give the-
blacksmiths.
yeah.
That's right. You're taking the boys out. Okay. Perfect.
I wanted to reward the
Oh,
boys for coming along this long way and
Oh, forgot all
everything they
about
had
that.
done.
Perfect. You and the lads are. It's like taking 2 farm boys to Vegas, right? They're just just amazed. You got to
And
keep.
they've
Both
already
ends and
been
both
here.
shoulders.
Oh yeah, you got to
I
keep
gotta reel
grabbing
them
them
in.
because Verite wants to go see how that works, and Stefano has got an idea for a crooked game that he wants to run because they made a lot of money the first time they were here, and
And like Kois kind of stops for a split second when Stefano says that and he thinks to that would be no. Yeah.
we made like 80% of those snakes and stuff that we made. I made with a game where I claimed to be magic.
What did you make?
All I need is a chair, well, 2 chairs, a table, and a really shitty built stage.
Okay, what's the game?
I put the ball on the table in the middle of it, and you say to the other person, "Move the ball with your mind," and then I'll try. And if you do it, I'll give you a snake or a frog. But if I do it, you only have to give me a snake. And then they do it. Of course, they can't do it because magic doesn't exist, right? I mean, nah.
Yeah.
I mentioned the broken stage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I do it, I go like this. And the stage leans a little bit. The ball rolls towards me. One
Smart, but-
snake at a time, man. One snake at a time. And there's this part of Stefano you maybe haven't seen before. He is somehow this is his element. He is comfortable here.
See, how many people did you do that on?
Well, various versions of that game took me about 4 hours. We started with snakes, and we ended up playing for wolves.
See, what you have to do, you can't just do it all continuous. You got to spread it out so that way people don't wise up to the idea.
Oh, you don't
Which-
get it, man. They want to be fooled.
Seeing back there at the car, I don't think they wanted to be fooled.
That's guilt. That's after. You don't understand magic at all. A very
No,
famous,
I
a very,
don't.
Because
very
magic doesn't exist.
famous magician, and I mean like cards and illusions and shit. Not like because that doesn't exist, right?
Not a wizard.
But a very famous illusionist once said, "Magic doesn't fool them because it's smart. It fools them because it's stupid." They want to be fooled. You don't have to work hard. You just have to give them an excuse to go, "Ooh," and they will pay you for that.
So that stuff at the car, that wasn't angry people.
The ones that wanted the 1,012 or 1,200 or however many snakes worth of stuff we had in that cart, oh hell yes, that's greed.
Okay, they were just greedy. They weren't okay.
Yeah, they weren't angry.
All right.
Look around, nobody here is angry.
Okay. All right.
In a
Except
corner
maybe the werewolf.
somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I was just making sure that the reason why you didn't get into that mess was because you conned a bunch of people.
No, we got into that mess because
You had a
we
lot of money
walked
and you
down
just
the street screaming we got a lot of money.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
That's the second.
I may have
rule
had some
of-
drinks.
That's the second rule of Vegas. whatever this place is called.
Fair.
Don't look like you have money.
Right. Yeah, I should have known that. My my grandpa used to apparently before, all happened. Apparently, my grandfather was an illusionist. He met all the great ones. He even did a couple months in a place called Vegas. It was taking apart his gadgets, his magic tricks that got me interested in engineering and how they worked. How you could switch one card for another one without anybody seeing inside a machine. How you can make a machine that looked like it shuffled a deck of cards and it didn't do a damn thing. It put them in exactly the same order they were in before.
Oh.
That's where I figured out engineering. That's where I figured out people want to be fooled. Because the machine goes clickety clackety clunk every time. My dad can talk loud, but it's clickety clackety clunk. My grandfather can talk loud, but it's clickety clackety clunk every time. They can hear it. They know it's a machine. They can see it. And still, they pay to get in to see the show.
Huh. That's interesting. I hadn't thought about it like that.
You think about it, life's a carnival, man. Flashy lights, shitty food, and no real reason to get up in the morning.
Well, that's not entirely true.
Well, you
It's
found
pretty
some
narrow.
good food?
Not here. But well, I'm gonna be real with you. I haven't really ate any really good food in my life. There was that one time, but that doesn't count.
You didn't ask what Verité's shtick was. He made almost half of those snakes, man. You should see the look on people's faces when he counters the way that their game is broken. He takes one look at the table and rolls the ball and it goes up to the side and comes back down and hits the thing and it knocks it over and they start swearing and they have to give him the frog. And and he gives that blink. You know that blink? He did that big slow blink that he does? Oh,
Yeah.
He slowed it down even more. He figured this shit out in a heartbeat, man. He is a natural.
Yeah.
I used him for a shill for 3-card ante for 45 minutes.
In a world full of smart people like you, I'm glad you guys are just going along for saving the world and not other stuff.
No,
It's-
man. This is way too easy. This is like mowing grass. This is basic instincts. This is lowest common denominator shit.
Yeah. But I just mean in general, thank you guys for coming on the ride. I mean, Verite was the one that started it, but thank you, Stefan. You've been a great help here with the group.
Well, we're talking Vegas acts. We're the background, man. Me and Verite, we're the chorus line in the back. Every once in a while, you almost see our underwear, but other than that, we don't really do much. It's you guys. It's you four. You're the heroes. Everybody knows that.
I just do flashy shit sometimes, and
I just drive the car. I'm just an unpaid intern. You want to do this all night?
okay, the unpaid intern thing doesn't even work anymore. You're never paid in the first place. No one's paid here. I'm not paid anymore.
Oh,
That line of reasoning doesn't work.
hey, you want to play a game with a ball on a table?
I do not want to play a game. Fine, if you win, you owe me shit. How about that? Then I break your system. There you go.
No problem. You sit in my chair.
Shit.
3 generations, man. You're not going to beat me.
I'm not gonna beat
This
it.
is my home.
Yeah.
In fact, and he kind of looks to make sure Verite isn't listening. I'm seriously considering staying.
Really?
I'd be rich and by this time tomorrow, I could be in one of those big houses in the back.
And what from there? What do you get from that?
Then I spend the rest of my life wondering why I didn't go with you guys.
Yeah, exactly. So stick with us. Come on.
Oh, yeah. I said tempted.
Oh, I didn't hear the tempted. I thought you were actually thinking and then going through with that. No,
I said it before, man. It's too easy.
life needs to be hard sometimes, because
Yeah.
that's how you know you're well. In a good world, in a perfect world, that's how you know it's leading somewhere fruitful. I think's the right word for it.
And he
You
kind
have to do the farming in order to get the fruit.
Mm-hmm. He nods and says, "Well, you know how you get fruit to grow, right?"
Yeah, I know how fruit. How does fruit grow?
You stand there a tree and make a noise like rain. You idiot! Let's go. I want a drink.
Nice segue. Well, no, we're not getting a drink. We're going to the blacksmith. Mostly for Verite, but for you too, so you can work on some
Have
shit.
you not been paying attention? You can get drinks at the blacksmith. You can get drinks
What?
at the donut shop. You can get drinks in the outhouses here. You just put your arm through the hole in the side and they put a drink in it.
I thought those holes were for something else.
No, they're not. This is a PG-13 rated show.
Right.
And I knew it as soon as I fucking said it.
Yeah, you're the one that said it.
Stefano thinks they're for drinks. Stefano could have got a rude surprise.
That's not a handshake.
There was an R in the word that I said. Figure it out. Never mind.
So I think by now we kind of hop up to kind of.
As you get close.
Or actually,
to
I'll let the assistant guy do it.
Okay, yeah.
I'm
So
a
yeah,
king
as
here.
you get close though, you see in the distance down the street two familiar shapes, two familiar people.
Triangle and a trapezoid.
Yes, those two people.
A rhombus.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say a rhombus.
A roughed up rhombus and a tactically challenged triangle. I don't know. Anyway, you see the two of them-
Traumatized triangle.
Traumatized triangle. Yes, I added too many words because that's what I do. So you see two familiar people down at the end of the street.
So, I mean, I assume they were here
Are you guys
anyways, but
trying to pull the dragon out from between the two tents, or
I think Delilah is, yeah.
Okay, Artemis,
Yeah,
I think, is trying to get like Delilah to calm down a little
yeah,
bit.
sure, yeah.
It's,
Delilah is like tunnel visioning now. She's like, I just
yeah.
not
gonna-
like she's not aggressively tunnel visioning.
I'll
anymore,
say to
though.
the assistant, can you show these two to where the blacksmith is? Or you will show these two to where the blacksmith is.
Yes,
All right, and
yes, sir.
I tap him on the shoulder, and
Orders
I'm
are
gonna go.
best, sir. And yeah, and
I'm gonna
he takes the
go
boys, yeah.
go to the stuffed animal. But I'm gonna do like that thing where like he comes up from behind and just kind of like pulls it himself,
Yep.
or
and,
attempts to. I'm gonna
yeah.
try to.
Yeah, give me. Let's not give it to you automatically. Let's make you make a play.
Yeah,
You come up
athletics, so
behind
diamonds.
Artemis.
Yeah.
You're getting an elbow to the sternum.
Oh yes, yeah. Mr. Patchy is coming with me. Mr. Patchy. That's the yeah. So all at the same time, I want don't draw them now, but don't play them. I want athletics. So diamonds from Coes. Artemis, I want a reaction. So that's going to be
Combat.
readiness.
Combat.
So
Combat.
that's clubs. And Delilah, pure strength, just trying to haul this dragon out, right? Like you're just rage pulling on the dragon.
Carefully rage pulling.
Carefully
She doesn't
rage
want
pulling
to.
because it's valuable.
She doesn't
So, yeah.
want to. Yeah.
So diamonds from you as well. Already draw what you got. Wait.
Athletics.
Then I got to tell you how to do when to do them all. at once.
Okay.
Then we're gonna put this
Okay.
story together.
Meanwhile, Sid has stumbled out of the bar and is singing "A Long Way to Tipperary."
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, Sid. Oh no, we're going out on Sid. Don't you worry. We're
Okay.
gonna go to Sid in a minute, but I want to finish this. Sid left the party in a dangerous little fair. Okay. Shh. Nobody said that. What do you guys do? I'll play once. Go. Coes. You reach in. Yeah.
Go. My jack is a 5.
Right. So that's one success.
One
altogether?
success.
Yeah. Okay. Delilah.
No diamonds.
I have 1 diamond, so that's 1
One
success.
success. And Artemis?
I've got a 7 of clubs -1 because of 2 trauma still,
So
and
that's a
that's
6.
bad.
So that's 1 success because it's a club,
Mhm.
right? Yeah.
hmm
So all the things happen. Coas, you grab the tail and you pull. Artemis, you go, creep, and elbow him right in the guts. He clenches and falls back, therefore dislodging the dragon at the same time that Delilah hauls on the dragon with all of their enraged might. And the 3 of you end up in the middle of the muddy street in a pile, looking like a cat that's been jumped by the patchwork dragon. All of you trying to get out from underneath this 12-foot long patchwork dragon.
No, you could
One sentence each before we cut away. Coas?
you could have looked before you hit Artemis.
Why did you come up from behind me?
Delilah looks over to Coas.
Mm-hmm.
Sees Coas. Her eyes go wide. Then she punches it and says, "Don't ever leave again."
Where do you punch me? It'd be funny if it was on the other side.
Well, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take a big leap here and say you don't have any diamonds left. Is that
No,
fair?
I'm
Delilah,
saying like
for the punch.
oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do not have any
Okay.
diamonds
So
left.
yeah. Where do you hit him ineffectually?
Hold on.
Coas, what was your question? What
Because it would be funny if like Artemis kind of elbowed me in the side and she
and
hit
then
in the other side.
The other side. Yeah.
I think I go for the other side.
Yeah.
And this is based on a roll that I just did.
Yep.
I overshoot.
Yep.
And I'm a little too low.
Yep. You rolled right in the middle of
Right in the 5 hole.
Yeah. Let's call it the solar plexus region below the belt, but yeah.
It's ineffective, so it wouldn't hit there.
It's just,
Yeah.
it's just because even a stiff breeze. But never mind. You thunk and you punch him in an inappropriate place, but you don't care because you're raging.
It was an accident. That one was an accident.
That one was an accident, and that's where we're gonna leave the 3 of you in a pile of mud in the middle of the fair. Sid. They keep every time you look over, that fucking bottle's full again. Like they keep bringing drinks. The ghosts keep buying rounds. The conversation gets weirder and weirder. You're pretty soon sort of doing the ooze thing, like the boneless, where you got to throw your arm up on the table to get to the tray. And you kind of drag it across the table until it gets to the shot glass and finger is close. And you go, okay, I got it. Yeah, you're at that
one
level
step at a
of-
time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, breathe. Right. Gotta breathe. Okay. Okay. Use the other hand. Yeah,
if
you're at that level
anyone-
of shattered.
If anyone in that bar knows English,
Yeah.
they would have heard the entire story of Florence
Okay.
by this point. Because he would have
Perfect.
just been at this point. Him and we're gonna say Ted are just messy drunk,
Yeah.
telling bullshit stories to each other.
So you're sitting at what everybody else sees is drunk Englishman
Sid.
sitting at a table all by himself, just getting shit faced on comp
Yeah.
drinks, expensive comp drinks.
He offered to pay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're just
Put
you're
the frog
yeah.
arm in the tip jar.
Yeah. Sid, there. It's just like the only thing keeping you awake is mental focus now, right? Like
Mhm.
you just barely. I'm still in public. I'm still in public. And then somebody helps you stand, and you hear a voice. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. No, if you got to throw up, head the other way. You don't know what the other way is because you don't know where they're holding you. Like you're being walked away. What do you try to do?
I think Sid would reach for the bottle and probably spill it.
You catch the bottle. You catch the neck of the bottle, and you kind of see out of the blurry side of your eyes, which is all of them at this point, a foot come out and literally kick it. Like the person's behind you, they got your shoulders. You reach out and grab the bottle. Their foot comes up above the table and boots the bottle out of your hand, and then turns your shoulders. Whoever's doing this has done it before.
He's being sidnapped.
And then
Yeah,
I
it is.
turn and I flail
Yep.
because
Um,
drunks
We're all going out fighting.
Okay. Yeah, you drunk flail. Have you got any diamonds?
Yeah, I could actually put this guy out on his ass.
Okay, let's see what you got.
4 and a 5, so
Yes,
that's
that's
3.
9. That's 3 success. So yeah, you spin on this guy and just go into drunk iron worker mode, right? Drunk
Yeah,
steel guy
it's
mode. It's just
all of
hammer
us.
blows, right? There's no
He hears
style.
he hears Ted yell "bar fight,"
Yeah.
and all of a sudden it's all hands throwing hands.
Oh yeah, it's like yeah, jerseys and just going to town on spines and just having a good time.
Mhm.
So yeah, you start
He
a
hears the
bar fight.
Dropkick Murphys start.
Yeah. Oh yeah. the 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 incessant blare of bagpipes, because nothing says bar fight like bagpipes in a confined space. Somebody in this bar starts playing bagpipes. Somebody else starts playing a different song on bagpipes in opposite corners of the bar. This is perfect sound effects. Sid,
Dueling bagpipes.
oh yeah, this is old times. This is Sid when he was 20, starting fights for fun, right before you smartened up and grew up. This is throwing shots and taking shots and having somebody biting on your mustache and just like everything. Go to town nuts.
Some guy punches him in the face. He looks at him, grins, and headbutts him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But like all bar fights, it starts to wear down, and you find yourself sort of at that moment where you're surrounded by 6 of them, and you could take any 5 of them, but 6 might be a bit much.
Especially if only one of them's real.
Yeah, you probably really need a drink. And as you have that thought, you feel the drink hit literally right there. One of them somebody just steps up behind you and cracks you with a bottle. And
lights out.
It's just downtime. It's just there's a big spark and then lights out. That is where we're going to drop the curtain on tonight.
Uh-oh.
I knew it. I knew it.
There were fights. We finally did fights. Episode 992. We finally did
26.
Some fights.
The session after I added combat to my skills.
Sid mad. Sid wants fight good.
We all went out we all went out swinging.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I didn't swing.
Yep. So that is where we will end tonight. Holy cow. We still haven't, you still only been in here for like a couple hours. It's not even midnight the first night in the fair. But at least you got in here. 3 episodes of names with fair in the title. You guys finally got in.
We're finally all here.
Yes. And I think I nailed it tonight. Tonight was called Life is Un-Faire. Faire. I think tonight. Yeah, tonight I think. Yeah. And yes, Malcolm in the Middle every time. Life is unfair. Yeah. So the thank yous. I'm going to start with Wayward because Band-Aids, tissues. Here's all the stuff. Delilah's med kit might be full, but Wayward's might need a reboost after tonight. That was brutal. Thank you for letting Delilah break and then bringing her back just that much, just enough to be conscious, right? So I love it. It wasn't just I'm broken and now I'm fixed. It was I'm broken and now I can see. Right? At least I can function again. So beautiful. Thank you. Thank you very much also to Thunderscape / Robin. Playing the caregiver is tough. And especially because from a sheer acting point of view, you don't want to block them having their big breakdown scene, but you got to be there in a supporting role. So exceptionally well done. You stepped in when you should. Stuff happened. You added to the scenes. Beautiful. Thank you. Oh, Phil. Holy shit. Coes is fun. I've been waiting to drop that Stefano's grandfather was a magician, and that's where he got into mechanics in the first place. That actually was part of him since Florence. So
Wow.
I finally, when I saw this fair come, when I thought of doing the fair, I was like, finally, here's how I get it in the conversation. So yeah, that's why he's home here. So thank you for giving me that opportunity. And Bison, man, tonight reminded me, especially the end of it, reminded me of the game that we played where we did terrible things to a module. And we had poor Bickford with you willingly.
I was just thinking, this is the second time you've friggin'
the cast of Amontadillo, or however you pronounce it. Yeah, I did it again.
Amontillado.
Yeah, I did it again. You walked down the hallway again. You walked through the hole in the wall, and you helped me brick it up. So thank you. I appreciate that very much. Because of that, you survived the last one with the halfling vampire, which to me is still a goddamn terrifying idea because halflings are so cute. Just halfling vampires just freak me out. That's creepy. But
new character idea.
Yeah. But thank you for letting us see Sid's fragile side tonight. He'll never show it on the outside, but we got inside Sid tonight, so we saw the ghosts and the weakness and the failure and the giving up and just like, fuck this, I'm gonna drink myself into unconsciousness. And then at the end, getting in the fight.
I didn't mean literally.
The one bad decision, like the actual bad decision that Sid made. Bar fight! Right? Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. So thank you all. That was, I think, 6 little scenes, and it took 2 hours. So, yeah, this has been an absolutely amazing show, every second of it. And it's going to continue to be next week. But let's do the finish with the thank yous, because people that watch live, there wasn't a lot of you, but thank you for chat. Thank you, Brill. And yeah, PG-13 sailed about episode 1, I think, to be fair. But that's why we got the content warning. But thank you to everybody in chat. Thank you to everybody that watches in the VOD, because there's a lot of you. And I got to pause here for a second because YouTube people, holy crap, YouTube people. Just before tonight, I looked up, and our last episode that went up 4 days ago, and it was at 297 views in 4 days. That is beyond the pale of what we generally get for views here, and it stopped my heart for a second. Thank you so much for watching.
About that.
If you watched all the way to here, please hit that like button. I mean, if there's that many of you watched it, please hit that like button, and we'll know to do more and more and more of it. So with that, that's all the thank yous. Now the instructions. We just gave you a whole bunch of stuff for free. Now we're gonna make you pay for it. But I'm gonna say please, so it's okay. Please, until the next time you see us, be nice to each other. Good night.
Adios.
Bye.